on a Saturday with a fresh SmackDown reaction and some brand new takeaways because it was probably one of the biggest SmackDown episodes that there's been in a while.
Specifically between pay events.
Yeah.
Because those are always like mediocre.
Especially by the time you get to SmackDown, like usually the Raw afterwards is good and juicy, but SmackDown, it depends.
Yeah.
But here, not the case. They get back to the United States with a bang in my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. And a lot of our predictions came true here as far as Seth Rollins and CM Punk making appearances. But we'll talk about all of that as we get into it here on the reaction. We had a huge surprise matchup to kick things off. We had a bunch of matchups that are going to be announced for next week. But I think before we get into all of that, we have to just talk about the return that everybody was waiting for literally all week. And that is the return of AJ Lee last night at the culmination of basically the Becky, Seth, and CM Punk feud going to the next level.
Yes. And AJ Lee is CM Punk's wife.
If you remember, we had said, is it going to be Rhea Ripley or AJ Lee? And I think we were kind of leaning towards Rhea because the television show itself seemed to be hinting at that. However, it just looks like it was what it was. It was just TV therapy sessions, and CM Punk and Rhea Ripley are just friends, but they're not partners.
That's true.
CM Punk has a WWE real life mate partner, even though she hasn't been around for a while. She certainly has some abs, though.
She does. She looks really good. Yes.
She has a scrappy wrestler's body / technique, I would even argue, in the limited time that we saw her last night. But she came down to the ring. She gave Becky Lynch the beatdown that she certainly deserved.
Yep,
she was slapping the shit out of her husband again. And that was the gimmick. And, Becky Lynch gave us one of her famous shocked faces when the music hit. And but I got to give props to the Chicago crowd because they were chanting AJ Lee's name well before any of this happened. When Becky Lynch was in the ring by herself, they were chanting AJ Lee's name.
Did not like
she
that.
said, "Don't you dare say that name!" Like, I love how she's really good at just going off cuff like that and playing like this wicked villainous woman.
Good. Yes.
Seth came out first, by the way, to his music, but he never really came down the ramp. He was watching from the boxes.
Sure.
He was taking it all in like a rock star, superstar that he is.
Or hiding behind his wife.
Oh, snap. Well, this was the big rumor all week, and here it is, Nika. Yeah. So how do you think it went down? I mean, do you think it was a victory? Do you think it was too predictable? Where do you stand?
No, I think it was good. It was good to bring somebody back that the rumor came true. So that's a good part.
Good fan service, right?
Exactly. And that's all it is about.
For sure. I mean, I will say this looked like a really special moment for CM Punk to be a part of. And I think he handled it on screen in one of the best ways possible. He sort of looked like a proud gentleman. Like he was proud of his wife for having this moment, and he kind of took it backstage. He even sat on the announce table at one point and kind of like let her get all the crowd reaction and all the fandom. So like it was like such a baby face thing to do, right? Like
it was a nice moment.
That's why everyone loves the new CM Punk. He hasn't always been this nice guy, like, right? Or this proud gentleman, as I call him. But he really seemed to be a proud gentleman. I think
when you get older, things changed a little bit in your
this is take two with him in WWE, and now he's got an opportunity to work with his real life wife. And I had this vision, of him and AJ Lee and Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins all sitting in a hot tub somewhere in private, like laughing and about how they're going to play the crowd and how much fun they're going to have doing it. And like, and how Becky Lynch is going to keep a straight face. Cause I sure as hell don't know how she does it sometimes.
I know. You just get into the character. You just have to live the character.
By the way, I want to point out one small thing. Becky Lynch trashed all of the Chicago sports teams last night, except for one, Nika. And do you happen to know who that might have been?
Let me see. The Bears.
Oh, it was the Bears. And I wonder why that might be. Oh,
well, she was wearing orange too. So
and
come
so
on.
was Seth.
Yes.
And if you don't know, Seth is a huge Bears fan. And Becky, even earlier this year when they were in Green Bay, Wisconsin, she said that she made a Bears joke about them because the Bears beat them at home as the final game of the season last year.
But I realized something. Becky has orange hair. She fits right in with that.
Maybe that's why Seth loves her so much. He's like, your hair just reminds me of the Bears.
Exactly.
That's funny. All right. Well, this looks like it's leading to some kind of matchup between the four of them, right? Like,
yes.
We've heard this rumored at WrestlePalooza.
But it hasn't been announced.
It hasn't been announced, but we heard before this that this was going to be the matchup. So now that this has happened, it feels like that part's going to happen, right? Like,
yes.
It's going to be a mixed tag team match of CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins.
And I don't think the belt's going to be on the line.
Oh, no.
This is just a
more
brouhaha.
for entertainment purposes. And
yes.
It's for the big ESPN event.
Exactly.
You know? Like, this is going to help sell those $29.99 a month subscriptions.
Yeah. Or VPN.
Or VPN if you're Stephanie McMahon. You know, we gotta listen to the boss's daughter, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Or the boss's wife, I should say at this point. Okay. So with AJ Lee, are you thinking this is going to be a long-term thing with her coming back to WWE, or is this just a short-term thing during the Seth Rollins storyline?
I think it's a one-off because I remember you told me something that she had some neck problems or neck injury, and that was the reasoning for her not to be in a wrestling any longer. So if that's something that she struggles with, I think that'll be just one-off.
I agree with you. I just don't know how long the one-off's going to last because we've talked about this feud sort of building and culminating with a WrestleMania matchup, and I do think CM Punk's going to win. I mean, Seth's not going to have the belt forever.
Sure.
Good guys are going to win the belt again, and I just feel like he's going to have that opportunity he's going to beat Seth Rollins one time. Like, you have to let the good guy win eventually. As much as I love Seth and I want long may he reign, please. Like, I mean, till WrestleMania will be long.
So in a WrestlePalooza, as if you have a mixed sex tag teams, they might win that fight.
CM Punk and AJ Lee. Yeah, I could see them winning because it's for the audience in a sense, for the fans. And there's nothing on the line to change the power dynamics. And, Seth can be angry for losing or whatever, but it doesn't mean that he gets to walk out without the title.
Right, and Indianapolis is not that far from Chicago.
No, it's not. But I'm sure it won't stop him from trying to burn it all down, Nika. All right, well, stay tuned, I guess, for Raw on Monday because these are characters that are usually on Raw.
Yes.
And I think all of this only went down last night because of Chicago. And
I think so.
This is where we were in the story coming out of France. So
kudos.
Thank you, wrestling gods, for the scheduling in advance. And kudos to the writers for actually like delivering. It was so different. It was great to hear Burn It Down.
It didn't feel like a filler.
SmackDown.
Yes.
It was great to hear CM Punk's music on SmackDown. And I love when they just maybe throw all this to the wind and do what feels best for the night.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we also had a fun start to the show, Nika, because we had a surprise match to kick off SmackDown.
That was a surprise.
John Cena came out to, I guess, kick off the show. He had a awesome Cena Cubs shirt on. It was the Cubs logo, but it was a big C with an ENA in the middle of it. If you know the Cubs logo, you know what I'm talking about. But kudos to the designer of that shirt and for how they did the whole play-on logo there with Cena's farewell tour, and even recognizing the fonts come from like the Cubs marketing and some of their promotional materials.
It was good.
I noticed these things. This was fun. And so Sami Zayn came out. He was loudly booed by the Chicago crowd, I want to point out. And there was a lot of confusion about this on social media, and I guess just to make it clear, I think it has to do with his trunks, and that's why. So if you know, you know, and that's all we're going to say about it. Might sound odd coming from a state of Chicago, but you have to understand there's like literally two types of people from Chicago. So make of that with what you will. Let's get on to the wrestling, Nika. This was a fun way to kick off SmackDown because Sami came out and basically said, John, I'm going to do an homage to what happened to you so many years ago. John Cena defeated and won his opening match on SmackDown and won the United States title. And Sami Zayn was going to put it on the line for him again 10 years later. And John Cena accepted, and here we were. They rang the bell and
right
started
away,
the match. Ding, ding, ding. And Cena was like in his shorts. He didn't have any prep or anything. At least
they just
that
got
we knew
into
of.
it. Yeah, right away. We've had our first fight of the night.
Yes. Now this was also a very long match because I remember looking at my watch at one point and it was already 5:40, and I was like, wow. There's only 80 more minutes left, and they have commercials on SmackDown. If you're watching locally, I mean, whether you get the commercials or not internationally, or in the United States where you do have to watch them, it still is the same time,
right?
They just don't cut away to the commercial on the international.
You see what
feed.
happens during the commercial,
right? The wrestling. Anyways,
and a lot happens.
Now, I do have a minor complaint about this matchup. It was highly entertaining, and it was great to see Sami and Cena wrestle each other because they haven't wrestled each other since we've been watching that I remember. But also, my complaint is that they used just too many finishers on each other. Like, for not one of them to get pinned. And I hate when they cheapen the value of the finishers. And even Cena dropping the GTS at one point in homage to CM Punk being at his hometown of Chicago. That was cool. And I thought that was going to do it for sure. And, maybe as I was watching this, it was because I wanted Cena to win.
Okay.
I as the opportunity began to develop and happen before our eyes, I was like, oh, I want him to win. I want him to have a title as he goes out,
I know.
like or add some flair and drama to the whole farewell tour. It would have been fun.
It would have been. The problem is with the storyline later. What you do with
I know. I woke up this morning and I was like, yeah, that was probably for the best. And why am I saying that, Nika? Well, it was because Brock Lesnar showed up at the end of this match after Cena and Sami double clotheslined each other. The classic double clothesline, knocked out cold, both of them in the ring, and then Brock Lesnar's music hits. It is the first time we've seen him since SummerSlam, and he kind of came out and ruined everything. This was a very anticlimactic finish to this matchup for me because it was so long, and there were so many finishers delivered and executed without a pinfall, and then we don't get a conclusion.
It was the greatest tour hits.
Greatest hits tour.
Hello.
Nika's dyslexia is kicking in. We'll talk about that with Caleb Williams on Monday, everybody. Oh, boy. Well, Brock Lesnar came into the ring. He dropped some F5s on both Sami Zayn and a couple more on John Cena and left him wrecked and ruined, and he left.
I know.
And what did he say on the way out?
I don't remember, but something bitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something bitch. Well, keep it classy over there, Brock. Keep it classy. His arms looked a little bit bigger to me, too. It could have been an optical illusion, but it looks like he's been pumping some iron since SummerSlam.
Well, he's getting ready for the big match.
I read in Sports Illustrated this morning that Brock Lesnar was actually a free agent for a limited period of time before reappearing at SummerSlam. A lot of people had thought he was still under contract and just like recovering from prolonged injury, and also was like kind of a part of some lawsuit that someone had filed against Vince McMahon and him, and that was the reason for it. He was actually a free agent. So that's interesting to know. And this is supposedly, according to that article, a limited run. So I don't know if he's going to be back permanently.
I think this is just one-off between him and Cena.
It does seem like it's more part of Cena's farewell tour because they were such arch rivals at one point. And it's fan service. Everything that Cena's doing is for fan service right now, and I think he's not being shy about that, especially since he's returned as the Cena of old, since the Cody Rhodes forced him to sign that signature on the same night Solo Sikoa went to jail. Hilarious stuff, as always. All right, well, we had a few more announcements on SmackDown last night that are worth talking about for a second here, Nika. We have confirmation that Brock Lesnar will now be on the microphone for the first time next week. So while he has made these 2 TV appearances, both at SummerSlam and last night in Chicago, now we will hear him on the microphone for the first time. I'm unfamiliar with his mic game, so I'm looking forward to judging and seeing how he does and what I tend to like the villains, and he's obviously being portrayed as a villainous character right now, so I hope I like it. Now we also have an announcement of a women's WWE Championship matchup. That's right, Tiffy Time is putting it on the line against Jade Cargill once again. A repeat match. Do we expect anything to happen here out of the ordinary, i.e. Tiffy losing?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I think this is practice for Jade.
Yeah, I think it's more of a practice match.
Not to drag her or anything, but we've heard people criticize her wrestling, and the best way to get better at it is to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
And
look at us.
Why not work with somebody that's good at it? Because Tiffany's good.
Tiffy's good.
Those perfect moonsaults are fucking perfect 10s, man. All right. So that matchup's happening next week. One more match on the docket next week. Drew McIntyre is going to be taking on Randy Orton in a SmackDown contest. I had picked this for Paris, correct? As when we were short a match, I thought this was maybe the one of them that could happen, or at some point. I'm really surprised Drew McIntyre did not get a match in Europe.
I know.
He might have had a tag team match, but not a solo match. Like, I hate how they market these guys as like top dogs, and then they're not.
They don't use them.
They don't get any of the like main event status cards
unless they do some dark matches that are not televised.
They do tons of dark matches, but
that doesn't
the TV
help.
is still the king.
Yeah,
it's what made the product what it is. And I don't know. Do you think with ESPN, side note, we'll see longer paid live events? Maybe we'll see the card get expanded from like 6 to 7 matches sometimes because I think you got to have 2 women's matches. And
well,
yet
it all depends.
There's so much talent and there's so many people that I feel like get left out.
But do you make the matches shorter that way? Or you just expand longer events? Is Mickey Mouse going to come up? Time, you 2 matches too long.
Time's up. Yeah, good point. And is it time to run an ad?
Right, exactly.
Like, hey, sorry guys, this matchup's over because McDonald's needs their 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
This is terrible to think about, man. I hope to goodness gracious that ESPN does not put commercials in the middle of matches on paid live events. I think it's all but a guarantee that they're going to be on during the middle of matches. I mean, in between matches. I think they're going to be like, hey, we're going to step away for 3 minutes for a word from our sponsors. I would be prepared for it already.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, folks. Well, SmackDown takeaways in the books. Let us know what you thought. Oh, wait, Nika's got a question.
Yeah, I mean, we said Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton's going to have a match. Who are you taking in that match?
Oh.
I'm
going to take Drew. And I'm going to tell you why is because Randy Orton got the best of him, I believe, twice overseas. He interrupted him in his ring moments. I think Randy Orton hit a couple RKOs on him overseas.
Okay.
And left him kind of knocked out cold in the ring. And I think Drew McIntyre is going to get a victory here before I think he's also, we haven't seen Cody Rhodes announced yet as a match. And yet I feel like Drew is going to face Cody Rhodes
for the
at
title?
WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis, which is literally like 2 weeks away from today.
So that's a title match.
So this is a working match for him next week. I think Drew McIntyre wins because he's going to lose the championship. He's not going to win the belt from Cody Rhodes. I don't see it.
No, I don't see it either.
So that's why I'm saying he wins next week on SmackDown.
I tend to agree with you on that one.
And his buddy Logan Paul might come out to the ring and help him do it. I don't know.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
might happen.
it doesn't matter how he wins, really. It's a working match.
Yeah.
It's a match for him to get all the rust off before he probably faces Cody at WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, that was the SmackDown takeaways from Chicago, Nika. And the show will move on to Milwaukee on Monday for Raw. And like I said, stay tuned because all of the drama from the ending will probably come into play Monday night as well.
Oh, definitely.
With those characters usually appearing on that show.